Hi, I'm Carol Burnett.
I saw it in the window and I just couldn't resist it.
Shut up or I'll take that little rubber stopper out of your purse and ram it down your throat.
Join us for a celebration of my favorite moments. I feel like I'm just getting started. I began my life in show business as a fan. As a little girl, there was nothing I loved more than going to the movies with my grandmother Nanny. And I just wanted to climb into the screen and live there. And once I got to New York, I fell in love with Broadway for all the same reasons. And then there was television. Television opened up a whole new magical world. And I wanted to jump right into that screen too. I spent a lot of wonderful years on TV. And there are so many new screens to jump into now. Well, here I am on my own streaming channel. I mean, who would have guessed? Over my lifetime, there have been so many new ways to entertain each other and find an audience. And that wonderful feeling of being a fan has stayed the same. And it's an honor to say that I've picked up a few fans myself. So to celebrate all the years I've spent as a fan, I thought I'd take a look back at some of my fan favorites. So what do you say? Let's jump in. Throughout my childhood, my happy place was the movie theater. No matter where I lived, I spent as much time as possible at the movies. And once I got home, I'd keep the magic going by acting out what I'd seen on the screen. Little did I know that years later, I'd have my very own show and pick right up where I left off. On the Carol Burnett Show, we really threw ourselves into our movie takeoffs. Oh, we spoofed all my favorites, starting with The Postman Always Rings Twice.
Why should I kill him? What do I get out of it?
$10,000 and me.
How about a straight $5,000?
We did Double Indemnity, From Here to Eternity, The African Queen, The Little Foxes.
Congratulations.
Not yet, get out.
Shit move.
Oh, he makes me laugh sometimes.
Sometimes we were just taking off a type of movie, like the Three Handkerchief Weepers that were so popular when I was a kid.
Oh, Mother, goodbye. I shall be gone for a long, long time, but I shall never, never forget you.
Try.
Thank you, Father, but I'm not afraid to.
Fry in the electric chair.
Oh gosh, I'd pretend to be Shirley Temple.
And my Uncle Miney and Trixie, his very good friend, if you know what I mean.
Joan Crawford.
Darling.
Rita Hayworth.
Hit me again. Not you, him.
Oh, I love them all. And some of those legends I'd watched as a girl, they watched my show. And I got some absolutely swoon-inducing fan mail from some of my favorite stars. So we figured, what do we have to lose? We invited some of those wonderful people to come and be guests on our show. And can you believe it? They came. Rita Hayworth, Lana Turner, Betty Grable. I was in heaven.
Just because you were a little prettier and a little younger. That's not true, my dear. I was a lot prettier.
When we spoofed Sunset Boulevard, My Nora Desmond character was such a hit that we brought her back for years.
You ever forget how wonderful
No,
I
madam,
was?
never will forget.
In that wonderful movie, The French Foreign Legion on Furlough, where I died as the young virgin.
That was magnificent acting.
Gloria Swanson, Norma Desmond herself, loved it so much that she came on the show to poke a little fun at herself by flirting with our handsome and talented Lyle Wagoner.
I've been on other shows, and they sent flowers back to my dressing room, but you've really outdone yourself.
During those early days at the movies, there was one actor who really spoke to me, literally. I thought from the moment I saw Jimmy Stewart, well, I felt like he was my friend and that he was speaking just to me.
James Stewart. I have to say, James Stewart, I've been in love with him for ages. In fact, I got to meet him one time, and I shook hands, and I didn't look where I was going, and I stepped back, and this is the honest truth, my foot went into a bucket of whitewash. And I stayed like that and just walked all the way and hoping he didn't notice. And I haven't seen him since.
Everyone who knew me knew how much I loved him, so when the time came to say goodbye to the Carol Burnett Show, well, Tim Conway had a little surprise for me.
You have a favorite performer, and the guy's been here every week with his piano, and you've never let him on the show. And I think at this time, since it's the last show and everything, I'd like to take the opportunity to give the guy a break. So, do you mind? Excuse me.
You don't know what this means to me tonight. This man has been my favorite actor for so many years. I have talked about him. I have worshipped him. I can't believe that you...
And I'm beyond honored to say, years later, my dream came true. Jimmy Stewart did become my real-life friend.
Thank you for having me on your
Jimmy,
show.
thank you.
And I love you, Carol.
I love you so much. Thank you.
Of course, one of our movie spoofs literally went down in history. It's in the Smithsonian Museum. Our takeoff of Gone with the Wind has become legendary, thanks to the perfect combination of a great script, a great line, and a great visual gag.
What brings you to Tara?
You vixen, you. Starlet, I love you. That gown is gorgeous.
Thank you. I saw it in the window and I just couldn't resist it.
That visual gag was a creation of the legendary Bob Mackie, and I've been a fan of his for over 50 years now. The curtain rod dress was an achievement all its own, but he did so much more. Every character I did was a collaboration with Bob. From Joan Crawford's shoulder pads to Nora's low-hanging boobs, once Bob dressed me, I feel my character, and it all clicked into place. Bob designed every costume everyone wore, which amounted to 65 to 70 costumes a week. Now, over 11 years, do the math, that added up to around 17,000 costumes. And each week he'd make me a fabulous dress to wear when I came out as myself at the top of the show to do my Q&A. And when I wasn't feeling like Eunice or Mrs. Wiggins, I got to feel like $1 million, all thanks to Bob.
Not alone, you have your friends. Why, there's the widow Douglas, the widow Morrison, the widow Foster, and of course, widow me.
When I finally discovered the magic of television, there was no going back. While I was living in New York, trying to make it on Broadway, I never missed watching Caesar's Hour if I could help it. Mel Brooks, Neil Simon, Larry Gelbart, writing sketches for Sid Caesar, Nanette Febvre, Carl Reiner. Oh my, talk about a dream team. I knew from watching them that making television could be just as thrilling as live theater. Well, eventually Sid, Carl, and Nanette all made it to the Carol Burnett show, and they were all just as fearless and hilarious on our show as they had been on their own.
Where's your control panel?
Oh. In my bag.
Do you mind if I make an adjustment?
Only if you'll respect me afterwards.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be beautiful.
Oh, I hope you have a second choice.
And of course, when I talk about my first TV heroes, I have to say how much I love Lucy.
Your motivation is to keep from being put up for adoption. Now pay attention.
Old lady.
She was a real mentor to me. I can't help but wish that she was still around to send me flowers like she used to every year.
You think we'll get away with this?
I don't know, but it's our only chance.
Boy, I wish I had your voice.
I wish I had your build.
When Lucy was around, I knew I'd always be laughing.
Why, ain't you warm?
A little.
You'd feel better if you got undressed.
Probably. And I'll tell you another little secret. Another reason I fell in love with television was that I loved soap operas. I was a huge fan of All My Children. And I always tried to make sure that I was in front of a TV when it was on. Well, two of our young writers took it to the next level and pitched a soap opera spoof called As the Stomach Turns.
But she has amnesia no more. Victoria, Victoria, come out. Your son is here.
Son. Mom.
No, Victoria, dear, this isn't your son. That's your son.
Mom.
Son. Mom!
Will you knock it off? That's your mom.
I had a ball playing Marion, and our audience loved it too, so we kept bringing it back again and again and again, and it gave some of my favorite guests the perfect chance to get themselves into a lather.
Tell me, are you married?
I'm a widow.
Oh, a black widow.
Well, no wonder you can't talk. All those teeth.
No.
I don't know whether to join the Foreign Legion or kill myself.
If I were you, Ralph, I'd take acting lessons.
Would you be a dear and check my heart?
What's wrong with it?
Well, right now it's going pitty-pat, 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 pitty-pat.
You and I are going to have a man-to-man talk.
Well, I'll do my best.
There she is, Buzzy.
You hussy. Fortune hunter, barracuda, trollop, evil person.
No fair, you did 2 in a row.
I'm sorry. I'll sell myself if I have to.
Oh, Marion, nickels and dimes aren't going to help.
And then his girlfriend, the frog-legged woman, she committed suicide.
How?
She covered herself with garlic sauce and walked into a French restaurant.
Was it Pierre's last Thursday? I'll get it, dear. You're busy. Otto, I do hope you can help me with my visiting niece.
Well, she seems pretty normal to me. What's the problem? Yes, Marion, she'll never be abnormal again. We've taken all that evil away from her now, and she has nothing but goodness and purity left within her very heart and her soul and a little bit of her knee.
Oh, Otto, you've made me so happy.
So come, Marion, come, dear. Sit. Take a load off. I become a medium.
Really, I would have guessed an extra large.
All you care about is a few mashed potatoes? Excuse me.
That shape, that form. Why, he looks almost like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
I'll get it.
I like when she asks the audience for questions. I think I'm going to ask her one tonight.
Yeah, well, don't hold your breath. She'll never call on you.
Why not?
Because that whole thing is phony.
It is.
Yeah, they write all the questions in advance, and then the people who raise their hands and ask her the questions are all actors.
No kidding.
When I kid you, I read it in a movie magazine.
You know, I hope it doesn't sound conceited to say that, well, I was a fan of my own show, but I was. I was a fan of the musicians, the writers, the crew, the guests. And because I came out and did my Q&A at the beginning of the show each week, I got to be a fan of my own audience. And I always got a kick out of helping them reveal their hidden talents.
That lady that's sitting over there, is that Lady Maud?
Would you stand up? She asked if you were... The lady wanted to know if you're Maud.
Well, the sister. I'm beginning to believe it myself.
Is everybody stopping you and thinking you're B. Arthur?
All the time they mobbed me at the studio for autographs. I was kissed by most darling little friend. I'd like to sing a song for the little lady from New York.
You want to sing too? Terry McCann. Terry, what do you want to sing?
You made me love you in the key of G.
You made me love you.
Boy, I'm really excited. The Carol Burnett show.
Big deal. I'd rather be shopping at the farmer's market.
I can't wait to see Harvey Korman. Boy, I love him. Don't you?
Who is he?
He's a tall guy that works with her.
Oh, Lyle.
How did I get my start? My mother met my father.
Any other questions? You're not doing very well over here on this side, gang. How old am I? That's all the time we have now.
About Dean Martin, when are you going to have him on your show?
Oh, gee, you know, I was talking to Dean just the other night at the City Slicker across the street. And I said, Dean, when are you going to go? Audience, or some of the ladies might want to ask you a question or two. Anybody want to ask Lyle something?
What's your measurement?
Oh, Patrick.
That was our drunk Irish camera. Yes.
How many years have you been in show business?
How many years have I been in show business? How many years do you think? And be careful. Take a guess. How do you keep fit, Lyle?
Well, I don't do a whole lot. Lately, I've been running a couple miles a day.
With me chasing him.
Ladies' room.
How do you get to the ladies' room? You have to go to the left. Sure, come on. Yeah. Did we go to school together? You look very familiar.
We did.
Who is it?
John McClellan.
John McClellan! Get out! You know how old I am! Get out! Oh, my gosh, you look marvelous! How do I look, John?
Did they call you Big Mouth?
When I was a kid, did they call me Big Mouth? How did you get in? The most embarrassing question I was ever asked was whether or not I'd had a sex change. I think that takes the cake, yes. Uh-huh. Yes.
Did you?
Did I?
You know, this is my first time in a television studio.
Oh, well, first of all, Gladys, don't expect any magic. And second of all, a lot of your illusions are going to be shattered.
Well, that's nothing for me. As long as I get to see Lyle Wagner. Don't you think he's beautiful?
If you like short and fat.
Lyle Wagner is short and fat?
Are you naive? The only reason he looks that good is on the camera they put a tall, beautiful lens.
Well, how come it doesn't work for Carol Burnett?
Nothing works for him.
Well, what are we doing here? Let's get out of
I
here.
wanted to go to Disneyland.
Let's get going, that phony.
We got a real Mickey
Use
Mouse.
us, will you?
What?
Hey, I'm gonna deck you, you know that?
Before social media, before email, if you were famous, you got fan letters. And I was always grateful to get them. And I wrote back as often as I could. And here's Shirley MacLaine and me doing a sketch and a song trying to explain a little bit about what that was like.
Dear Shirley, whenever my friends are talking about actresses they can't stand, I always stick up for you.
Here, Dear Miss Burnett, I don't know if I should tell you this or not, but every time you sing, my cat goes over to the TV set and puts his paws over your mouth. Oh.
Dear Shirley. He's got big paws.
It's really great to be loved, isn't it? We get love letters, hate letters, how'd you lose weight letters,
Dumb letters, smart letters. How did you start letters?
cute letters, crank letters, blankety blank letters too. But please keep them coming.
It shows that you care.
It's you who keeps screwballs like us on the air. She's a little nervous because she's never had to come out just time. She doesn't know what she's going to say or anything. Do you have any... Your hands are ice cold. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask Vicky? There's a little boy there. How old are you? I don't know.
Well, it's not hard for me to remember the fan letter that made the biggest impact on me and the show, and certainly on the fan herself. It was from a 17-year-old high school student, and everyone told her she looked just like me. She sent me a press clipping and invited me to come down and see her in her school's Miss Fireball contest. I was about 14 months pregnant at the time, but I just had a feeling. So we went. Well, Miss Fireball was a fireball indeed, and she did look quite a bit like a young me. Later, when we were looking for an actress to play my kid sister, we immediately thought about Miss Fireball. You guessed it, whose real name was Vicki Lawrence.
And they told me that within 1 week, I was going to meet a tall, dark, handsome fella. And exactly 1 week later, I met Roger. The other guy didn't show up, huh?
I hope Carol likes your sister as much as you like her sister.
That's a rotten thing to say.
I'll be back when I'm a success.
I guess we'll never see him again.
This is my sister Ruth. She's dying.
Hello, Ruth. How are you?
Well, hello there. What can I do for you?
Don't you recognize me, Mother? I'm your unmarried daughter.
Oh, yes. You left home over a year ago. Well, what have you been doing?
Well, I flunked out of the convent.
Well, hello there, and who are you?
Mom, don't you remember me? I'm your wayward daughter.
Of course.
I wanted you to know that I'm back in college.
Good for you.
And I'm very active in student affairs.
I can see. Do you do much gambling?
Once in a while. I ran away from home and enlisted in the Army.
Oh, and you've already seen action.
I'm a magician's helper now.
Oh, looks like he helped himself. Adorable. Oh, it has my smile.
Oh, Mom, you're holding him upside down.
I'll never know quite why Vicky's fan letter caught my attention the way it did, but I'm still thanking my lucky stars for Miss Fireball.
Please help me, I've got a monkey on my back.
In that case, how about a banana?
You right. You know something, kid? That sounds pretty good. Yeah, I can hardly wait till I get a harmonica.
What are we going to do with your prizes?
You can take your grubby prizes and you'd never know it. You got splinters in the windmills of your mind. You're playing hockey with a warped puck. For Pete's sake, I wasn't a nun. Mama, don't you say such things to me! Eunice, for crying out loud, wake up and smell the coffee.
Is that all right with you, Mama?
Don't ask me. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Here's this pretty girl who worms her way into the good graces of an aging star and then just kind of pushes her aside and takes her place.
Yeah, it is kind of ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're enjoying our show. And now for my big number, I would like to... Yes, ma'am.
I'm not aging that fast.
Oh, and here's a fun fact. I worked with the wonderful actress Jane Lynch when I played her mother on Glee. Well, when Jane was a girl, she was a big fan of our show, and she had written a fan letter to Vicki Lawrence. She told Vicki she wanted to be an actress. Vicki wrote back, sent a picture, and told Jane to stick with it. Well, that didn't lead to 12-year-old Jane appearing on our show, but she did stick with it, and thank goodness she did.
Yeah, I'll be right with you.
To this very day, people still write me or come up to me or tweet at me. Kids whose parents weren't even born yet when our show was on the air will take the time to tell me how much they love it. And it's just a matter of time before they mention the crack-ups.
As you well know, you are the first...
Already, huh? Got a long way to go, white man.
I know. White man will stick in there.
I hope so. I'll be down here if you need me. No time to stop now with that. I see. Ever since Chief get to pay, sexier but not funnier.
You can see all right with them things?
Oh, yeah, I just need him to drive. Don't worry.
I'm Harold of Jordan, better known as the Virgin Prince. Perhaps. Perhaps.
They think I'm gonna fall apart. But you know what I'm going to do?
All right, go.
That's good, Slick.
Yeah. All right, now here. My nose has got a running. Yeah.
All right, let's look at that map. All right, sir. All right, I think we'll...
I'm not sure I'll ever see anything funnier than watching Tim try to destroy Harvey. Even when Tim completely went off script and changed every plan we had for the show, I was laughing as hard as the audience at home.
All those things you just said about me, true. I got you.
What's the matter?
Is that loaded?
Well?
Want to turn your face and cough? I got this when I was in Australia. That's real cool.
I've never worked on a show where the cast was so willing to help each other out.
Well, you're right. We're like one big happy family.
That's true.
As for my good friends Vicky, Lyle, Tim, Harvey, well, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that I'll always be their biggest fan. So here's a little tribute to my beloved friends who became family, dazzling us all with their comedic brilliance. I feel pretty lucky to have had a front row seat.
Something in this crate?
Oh, there's something in here tickling my fancy. I know, dear. The Lions lost again. I'm sorry.
Sergeant, what are you doing with that woman?
Everything I can remember, sir.
I'm going to give you your gift.
You are?
Sure. Later on. Upstairs tonight.
If it's what I think it is, it ain't even worth unwrapping.
Mama hadn't started whining for me to take it out. I did not whine.
You just shut up or I'll take that little rubber stopper out of your purse and ram it down your throat.
How come it's so smooth up here and it's kind of rough back here?
I'm not telling you again. I'm up to here with you.
Yeah.
Get right back where you belong. Every soldier wants a medal.
I don't. I want a pony.
A what?
A pony. You know, a little horse. Jeez.
He wants a pony.
A what?
A pony, you know, a little horse. Jeez.
Mrs. Huygens, could you come in here now?
Hello?
I'd like to dictate that letter now to you, Mrs.
Hello?
Come on, right in here now.
Reach for the audio.
One look at a drink makes me nauseous. Do you ever look at something and feel that way?
I'm Bob.
Joanne.
Tidal wave? Mr. Weintraub is our controller. Mr. Wyckoff is our sales director.
Don't suppose you have any comedy insurance down there, do you?
You think you see a beautiful girl, don't you? Well, it's not. It's just a cactus.
A cactus? That cactus is really put together.
There's a rumor going around the circus that that dwarf and the elephant were lovers. The elephant squashed it. Oh, they had to shoot the elephant. I don't know whether it's because of rumor or not, but they were buried together. Wait a minute. What kind of a mistletoe is that?
Oh, they were out of mistletoe, so I got broccoli.
I wouldn't be here today if I hadn't started out as a fan, and I just know that if we keep making each other laugh, singing to each other, giving each other a round of applause now and then, we'll keep that little spark of magic alive and keep passing it on. Sometimes I'll see someone online acting out a scene from the Carol Burnett show in their living room, just like I used to do when I got home from the movies all those years ago. I learned that when you can help put a smile on someone's face, they never forget it. There's a saying I like. People may forget what you said, they may forget what you did, but they'll never forget the way you made them feel. Thank you.